Hey there boys and girls, CSGO here and welcome back to another Counter-Strike Global Offensive video. So today I want to talk a little bit about the problem of hacking and smurfing and how the new CSGO profile ranks as well as the matchmaking or changes to the matchmaking system could solve this problem. So I would say let's get right into it. With the recent implementation of CSGO profile ranks, there have been numerous ideas about how to fix the problem of smurfing and hacking in competitive matchmaking games, everywhere on Reddit, on Twitter, on just everywhere. So let me start by introducing the problems we would have encountered without the help of profile ranks and why those would have been a bad idea. As we all know, you have to win 10 competitive games in order to receive a matchmaking rank, which is hidden while you're playing and before winning your 10th match. Usually an unranked player without any matches played will be set somewhere around the Nova ranks probably, since they represent kind of the mids of the ranking system. Depending on your win-loss and other factors that determine how you're doing, the system will try to put you in a skill group it thinks you're most comfortable with. Of course, something like skill is hard to be determined by numbers and can't pinpoint your abilities 100%. However, in theory, this is a good thing since people are getting placed against similarly skilled players to give everyone a fair fight. In theory, that is. The reality is that smurfing as well as hackers and cheaters ruin the game for many people and make the determination of proper ranks even more inconsistent. Smurfs, in many cases, and especially hackers and cheaters, should be ashamed of themselves for harming innocent players that are trying to have fun with a game they like. Sadly, many of them simply do not care, so there isn't much sense in hoping that those players will come to realize what they are doing, and, because of that, it won't change for the better like this. So it is up to Valve and probably the community to tackle this problem that has been plaguing CSGO for quite some time now. The previous problem was when only allowing new accounts to only play with each other and make them play competitive matches together in a different matchmaking pool, you would also effectively ruin the game for real new players who just picked up the game. They now would have to play against hackers, cheaters and smurfs, each of which they wouldn't stand a chance against. This probably would result in them dropping the game immediately, since even at the lowest ranks they wouldn't stand a chance against those people. Which brings me back to my main point of countering this problem, and how only now we're able to effectively recreate the way ranking is done in Dota 2. In Dota 2, you have to reach a certain level in order to play ranked competitive matches. Now, making it so that people will have to reach rank 13 on their CSGO profile to queue for competitive matches would get rid of previous problems of new players being stuck with cheaters and smurfs, since they're also allowed to rank up by playing deathmatch, arms race and all the other game modes. Smurfs and cheaters, on the other hand, will have to make it through the first 13 levels as well, which should put it off toxic smurfs and cheaters so that they won't even bother. Of course, there are still a problem of people wanting to play competitive mode even with new accounts, and we all know casual doesn't resemble that in the slightest. This is where the last addition has to come into place: unranked matchmaking. Unranked matchmaking would essentially mirror competitive matchmaking, with the only difference of not giving or affecting your matchmaking rank at all. Cheaters would be more off-put by that since they can't get their precious rank to feel superior, and the same goes for toxic smurfs. Friendly smurfs, even though I still do not support it in any way, shape or form, wouldn't be bothered since all they usually want to do is play with their lower skilled friends, which is kind of understandable. People that already have a matchmaking rank would also play against similarly skilled people in unranked matchmaking, and everyone who is still unranked would be put in accordingly, like in the first competitive matchmaking games before you receive a rank. Like this, cheaters and toxic smurfs would have to go through some work, which wouldn't go well with the lazy attitude of getting an ego boost by playing lower players or using hacks. In general, normal players wouldn't be affected as much by smurfs and hackers anymore, since investing the time to be allowed to do ranked matchmaking wouldn't be very appealing for them. Besides that, the system would have more time to detect cheaters before they could mess up the matchmaking ranks. New players could level up normally and wouldn't be bored much also, again, all in theory. This could also reverse the inflation of ranks after the recent VAC wave slightly, since people would be more skilled in the game after investing the time in it, and maybe like that even the silver ranks could have some more potential as well. Of course, this isn't perfect and won't get rid of all the problems, but I think it would definitely help a little bit, or maybe a lot depending on how it would be implemented. So yeah, the only thing left that needs implementation now is unranked matchmaking, which should be the exact same thing as ranked matchmaking, but without ranks of course. I would have loved this feature when it was new to the game, because I never really had the chance to properly just get to learn the maps and get a feeling for how the flow of a competitive game is. I I never really had a chance for real practice, and I think many people that are just starting out with CS would have the same problem. So yeah, instead of casual competitive, which I did completely right after my first game, they should do unranked matchmaking. So yeah, well, please fix. If you like this video, you can also check out the matchmaking the matchmaking video, the full matchmaking game on the either side, and there's also, I think the other video would be an ace or something like that. But yeah, I think it's pretty much all for now, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Lucky Skill Faker out.